Today, on July 7th, the AI world is changing forever. And you might not be ready for what's coming because this is a classic boiling the frog moment and you're the frog. Oh, I remember all those AI bros saying that their $20 subscription is going to replace everyone. And the best possible model, and don't get me wrong, Fable is really, really good, is now going away and it's not gonna be available in a subscription anymore. Now, to use the best models, you have to pay per usage, and trust me bro, that is gonna get even more expensive. However, if you're watching this on July 7th, here is a small tip I can give you, because I've been using Fable since it was launched, and then since it was relaunched, nerfed a little bit, to up the security of a lot of my different projects. And one tip that I can give you is to not use the words security, hacking, or vulnerability in any of your prompts, because it will revert back to Opus. But you can use different words for the same things, and in many cases it will stick to Fable and actually fix those security issues for you. Now let's get back to our frog. There is a rather untrue saying called boiling the frog, which means that if you gradually increase the temperature in a pot, the frog won't jump out because the discomfort will be rising just slightly and it will just get boiled and die. This has been proven to be not true, because the frog just jumps out when it feels uncomfortable, but it doesn't matter because this concept actually can be taken and used for describing different things. In software or in AI software, if you raise discomfort, like much higher prices, very quickly, a lot of people will churn. They'll go to local models, they'll go to Chinese models, they'll go to the competition. If you do it gradually but in a linear fashion, still quite a lot of people will churn as well. And then if you do it very, very slowly and then ramp it up near the end, people will get used to that discomfort, they'll get used to the limits and all of the other things like extra payments, and there's less chance of them actually quitting. So today on July 7th, Fable, or Mythos for some, is going away from the subscriptions. So no matter if you're paying $20 a month or $100 or $200, you won't be able to use Fable anymore unless you pay separately per usage, and it's 2 times more expensive than Opus. What I believe this marks is the end of subsidies and the end of subscriptions altogether, because this is just step 1. Initially, most people will switch to Opus, and they will use Opus a lot and only pay for Fable when they really need something extra, some extra power, some extra processing, or extra security audit. But we all know that even Fable was nerfed since the June release and then the July re-release, so you can count on Opus being dumber and dumber the more it goes. And even Fable at paper token will get slightly dumber over time, that's completely normal, but that rate will be much slower than for the subsidized models. So the idea is that you will start using Fable on a paper token basis more and more, because you'll start realizing that you can't really do the same things that you used to do with Opus anymore. Slowly but surely, you will be shifting from your subscription to the paper token until you cross the threshold and realize you're not even using the subscription anymore and you're mostly paying per usage. Which is pretty dramatic, but they really need that shift because those AI companies are not making money. They're not making profits, and they really need to start making profits because investors are getting impatient. There is competition coming from Chinese models, from the open weights and open source models, and the thing is that I'm feeling like we could go, and even some say that we'll get Fable level inference in 2 years running on local machines, but I seriously doubt that, because that would be a good kind of utopia future in which the powerful and the super rich don't get what they want, and instead the people, the masses, get the commodity and the luxury of it. That never really happens in real life. So be sure that if those open weight models get good enough to truly threaten the frontier models, they'll be banned. Because as designers, we're figuring out the ROI for AI for our work at Squareblack, and I did find a couple of things. I'm adding them as guidelines to the Squareblack blueprint, so if you haven't checked it out yet, check it in the link in the description. But those things are currently raising the amount of output I can generate, quality output, by about 25%. So I can charge clients the exact same amount of money, but deliver 25% more. But if AI becomes unsustainable financially for me, or those models don't get good enough to actually output something valuable for me, then I'll just have to quit. I'll just have to either completely stop adding that extra 25% or raise my prices. And sure, local AI is good enough for a lot of users. We're using it at Pageformance. It takes 18 hours to process all 4,500 websites, and we run it every week or two. But this is only good if you have an async kind of processing, and when that processing has very heavy guardrails. So you've written Python scripts, algorithms that actually keep it in check. And the AI part is not a huge part of that equation because those local models are only good at very narrow tasks. And we prefer to use those local models where available. So our local AI use is only justified because the platform works in a certain way. It's not gonna help all the AI wrappers that just kind of reach out via API to OpenAI or Anthropic. This can be pretty devastating for them because they also have to raise their API prices to go along with the overall price increase. This is a market dominance strategy, kind of like Uber did, because Uber was actually paying extra to the drivers to be able to show people, the end consumers, much lower fares. So people were like, oh, I can get a taxi at like a quarter of the price. But then, obviously, after they got enough saturation of the market, enough people got the app and got addicted to ride-hailing on a mobile phone, they raised the prices to be closer to profitable. And this is exactly what's happening here. Fable is a really good model, but it's not gonna be a subscription-based model. And yes, OpenAI is releasing Soul, supposedly on a Fable level, and it's gonna be a part of a subscription, but not for long. So this is the beginning of the end of subsidized AI. If you have plans of making something more complex or something more powerful using AI coding tools especially, you should do it now. This is why I think it's such a transformative moment. This is on par with the 2017 Google paper and the 2023 ChatGPT release. This is the moment AI changes the business model for good. This is a start of something new, and as the end users, and especially as people who are happy to replace everybody for a $20 subscription, this is definitely an end of something. So what was a commodity for the masses is slowly becoming a luxury for the few, like it always does. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and obviously, have a beautiful day. Oh, and if you have any plans to use Fable today, do it, because you might not get a chance to do it at this price anytime soon.